and welcome to Clerk of the Court Live. My name is Gloria Leggett, and I am Deputy General Counsel for the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court, the Honorable Dorothy Brown, here in Cook County, Illinois. And I will be your host for today's show this evening. You may view Clerk of the Court Live on CAN TV, Channel 21, or http cantv.org/hotline on your mobile device or on your computer. The number for CAN TV is 312-738-1060, so feel free to call in. Please note the contact information for the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County. We're located in the Daly Center at 50 West Washington with other locations throughout Cook County. Our telephone number is 312-603-5031, and our website is cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. And today I am happy to introduce this week's speaker. Her name is Ms. Elizabeth Nevin. She's the Expungement Manager in the Criminal Department, and she's going to share some information with us today regarding the 2019 Second Chance Expungement Summit that will be held at Westinghouse College Prep on Saturday, June 1st, 2019. Also, we'll be discussing today alternative remedies to expungements and to sealings. So thank you for being here on our show, Ms. Nevin. What information did you have to provide for us today?
Thank you, Gloria. I'm very pleased to be here today on Clerk of the Court Live. We're going to talk about the location of the summit, some things that you can do prior to the day of the summit, and how to get on the online registration.
So can you talk a little bit about the Second Chance Summit, the overall Second Chance Summit, and the purpose of the summit, and what kind of information will be provided at the summit on that day?
Absolutely. So the Second Chance Summit is a chance to do a full service application for expungement and sealing, filing for the whole county of Cook in one location, all in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We'll even have the judiciary there that can be issuing fee waivers for those defendants that are unable to pay the filing fees so that they can actually get filed that day. There's going to be attorneys there who are already reviewing the petitioners or defendants' rap sheets to determine their eligibility. They will sit one-on-one with the defendants and get individualized counseling and advice on that day for free.
Wow, it sounds like quite a bit is going on that day. I understand that there's a new registration process. Can you talk a little bit about that pre-registration process and what our customers can expect on the day of the summit with regard to that pre-registration process?
Absolutely. We've learned from previous years that maybe doing a pre-registration might be a more efficient way to process the defendants on the day of the summit. So there's a link on our website. It's you're going to go to the website that's clerkofthecourt.org. It's up on your screen right now, and where it says in red, upload your rap sheet and register here. There is a prerequisite that you should have your criminal history report from the Illinois State Police or your Chicago Police Department rap sheet prior to registering. It is a requirement for registering that allows us to hold your place in line and gives the attorneys a chance to start reviewing your case history before you even walk in the door on June 1st.
Well, and that sounds like something that has made the Expungement Summit more efficient, and also it sounds like it's something that is usually quite a few people who come to the Expungement Summit each year, and it sounds like something that's going to help to expedite the expungement process. What are your thoughts about that?
We're very excited about this new process. We're very excited. We feel like we can more efficiently and thoroughly give advice to those 500 people. Gives us a chance to make sure that we're not missing anything, or we're making sure that every single person that comes that day will get the full service that we would give to them day to day in our office, but being able to do it outside of the office, which might be more convenient to some people than coming Monday through Friday.
Yes. What steps do people have to take in order to register in advance? Can you go over those steps with us?
Sure. There's really not very many. There's only two things that they really need to do. They need to obtain their criminal history report, and they can do that one of two ways. The Chicago Police Department does fingerprinting Monday through Friday, 8:30 to noon, and their location is 3510 South Michigan Avenue. It is a $16 fee, but at that time, once they get fingerprinted at the Chicago Police Department, they will also be getting their Illinois State Police rap sheet in the mail. So for those defendants that might have arrests not even in Cook County, but say in Will County or Lake County, then we would be able to service them for those counties also at the Expungement Summit. And while those people would not be able to actually file those petitions outside of Cook County, they could get the advice of an attorney and be directed in the correct direction in which to file those. So it really is a full service, countywide, outside of county experience for these people.
It sounds like it's going to be quite a summit. And what if a person does not have a computer and a scanner? What can they do?
So there's many locations within the city that Clerk Brown is partnering with on this Sunday. There's going to be some church sites. Excuse us while we fix that a little bit. We got it backwards, we apologize. There you go. If you can see it on your screen now, there's some locations. We are doing a registration summit week in our offices. Any office of the clerk of the circuit court, any courthouse, whether it be Skokie, Rolling Meadows, we have employees there ready to help and assist defendants to upload their documents and make sure that they are registered in time. And then you can see on your screen also the 5 church locations that we will have representatives at these churches this Sunday, helping defendants get their registration in before, time's ticking. So we're almost at the end. We only have a few days left. So we want to get as many people pre-registered so we can start working on those petitions and get them fully serviced on June 1st.
Okay, can you go over for some of the viewers who may not necessarily be able to see the names of those churches? Could you go through those names of those churches?
Absolutely. So the first one is the King of Glory Tabernacle. It's located at 2314 East 83rd Street, Chicago. We're also going to be at the Green Grove, Baptist Church on 1049 West Marquette Road in Chicago. We're going to be at the JLM Abundant Life Center. They're located at 2622 West Jackson Boulevard in Chicago. The Evening Star Church at 4235 South Cottage Grove. And the People's Church of the Harvest, 3570 West 5th Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. So there are 5 outside locations on this Sunday, May 26th, where we will have representatives to assist customers in being pre-registered. And they are located at different sections of the city. So we're hoping that we can really reach out there and get as many people into those churches that we can to make sure that we can service them on June 1st.
And it's quite an experience. We want to get as many people registered because there are attorneys who volunteer on that day.
They do.
And people will have an opportunity to sit down with a licensed attorney, bring their information that they've pre-registered, have had that information looked over, and be able to obtain at least some measure of advice, and if they qualify for an expungement or sealing, have the assistance right there on site in order to get those expungement petitions completed, filed, and be able to start that process of reclaiming their lives and getting their lives back. So this is really quite an opportunity for as many people as possible who do qualify for those expungements and sealings. And Liz is expungement manager in the criminal department. And as you guys know, Cook County, we are one of the largest integrated court systems in the world. So we are talking with an expert here who has seen hundreds and really thousands of expungement petitions over the years. So we're really very, very fortunate to have you and have your expertise here. We're going to go a little bit into where people can obtain their rap sheets and criminal histories. I know you talked about it before, but we can't say it enough and we can't stress it enough. So could you go over with our audience where they can obtain those criminal histories and those rap sheets in order to pre-register, and also to let's talk a little bit about once they get to the summit if they haven't pre-registered. But let's talk about where they can get those rap sheets from first.
So the headquarters of the Chicago Police Department is located, their address is 3510 South Michigan Avenue. The department is access and review. It is a $16 fee, so make sure you have that $16 with you. They will fingerprint you. Unfortunately, they can't provide you with that document on the same day because they need to be able to have some time to do a thorough and investigative research to make sure that the information they are giving to those defendants is accurate and correct. So it usually takes about a week. Now, our office did reach out to the police department and they made an arrangement. Time is ticking. You have one more day. So if you can get to the Chicago Police Department by tomorrow, they will make sure that you have your rap sheet by May 31st. What we're suggesting is if you know that you're going to go tomorrow and get fingerprinted and you know you're going to have that rap sheet, we're still going to ask you to register.
Yes.
And please, if you could let us know at that time when you're registering that you had went to the Chicago Police Department on May 24th so that we will know that your rap sheet will be forthcoming in enough time in order to be serviced at the Expungement Summit.
Okay, so it sounds like if you go down to 3510 South Michigan, that's the magic number, 3510.
Yes.
3510 South Michigan, by tomorrow, your rap sheet will be back in enough times in order to pre-register for the Expungement Summit, to have all of your documents uploaded in time to have these documents pre-registered so that you can expedite your services at the Expungement Summit and make the best and the most use of your time. Now, let's talk a little bit about if a person is unable to, for whatever reason, get down to 3510 South Michigan and they're unable to register by that 31st date, are there remedies for those people? Will they be able to be seen at the Expungement Summit, or what can they expect from the Expungement Summit if they're not unable to pre-register by the 31st?
Yeah, so at the Expungement Summit on June 1st at Westinghouse Prep School, we will have an outside fingerprinting company there. So if you didn't have time to get your rap sheet before the summit, while you might not be able to actually sit down and speak to an attorney on June 1st, you could go in and get fingerprinted so you can start the process for maybe a later date. So don't think that just because you weren't able to be pre-registered that coming to the summit might not benefit you, because there's so many other things that are happening that day. So we just want to make sure that if you are looking for information on employment, or maybe how to get housing, or what you can do, you've been told in the past that your offenses were neither expungible nor sealable, and you want to know what maybe would be available to you, there will be informational seminars going on that day throughout the day, not just in the morning. Our office hours, the hours of that summit are 8:30 to 6. So even if you cannot see an attorney to file a petition, there are going to be multiple other informational seminars and people to speak to about what you might be able to do in the future.
Well, that's wonderful. So please try to pre-register if possible. If you are unable to pre-register, you can still be seen at the Expungement Summit. You just may not have an opportunity to sit down with one of the attorneys. So that's, if you can pre-register, please try to come out, pre-register early. Contact our office if you have requested your a rap sheet and you registered without the rap sheet, so that we can know that it's forthcoming.
Correct.
Thank you so much for that information. Now, I understand that the law has changed,
Yes.
and so let's talk a little bit with our viewers about what types of cases are eligible for expungements in Illinois,
You are correct, Gloria.
and sealings as well. I know those kind of go.
They do kind of go hand in
yes.
hand. In August of last year, 2 years ago, in August of 2017, the state expanded the sealing law.
Okay.
So prior to that, if you had expungible offenses and sealable offenses, you could either only do one or the other. Now you're able to expunge the offenses that are expungible and seal the cases that are sealable. Basically, I'm not an attorney, but this is what we talk about every day. So if you can I'm going to just kind of generalize this a little bit. So non-convictions are typically expungible, and convictions are typically sealable. Now, there are a few offenses that are neither expungible nor sealable, and there's not very many of them anymore. So the state has really expanded that law and made it available for most people to have their offenses expunged or sealed.
So let me ask
Sure.
this. This is something a question that we've gotten over the years for the Expungement Summit, and that question is, I have a felony. Is that expungible or sealable? I have a felony conviction. Is it expungible or sealable?
Most felony convictions are eligible for sealing. There's only 4 different offenses that would not be expungible or sealable. Some of them are things that fall under the violent offenses, which is like domestic battery or a violation of a protection order or of a non-stalking order. Those would not be sealable. Anything dealing with a sex crime would not be sealable. DUIs and reckless drivings are not sealable. And cruelty to animals, such as dog fighting, would not be sealable. But almost any other arrest or charge, based upon the fact that the parole or the probation has been completed, and most of them have a waiting period. But as long as all of those criteria are met, they would be eligible to file for a sealing on those.
Okay, so it sounds like the law in Illinois is really expanded, and I know here in the clerk's office we do not provide legal advice, which is why we ask for people to come to the Expungement Summit and pre-register so you can sit down with an attorney and have them look at your rap sheet and look at your record and be able to let you know what remedies are available to you on the day of the summit.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, there's something that you did mention, that there are certain offenses that are neither expungible or sealable. Can you talk a little bit about what alternative forms of relief do people have if they do have a conviction that is neither expungible nor sealable?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's other ways of you to find relief for these. There's certificate of eligibility, which you can petition the Prisoner Review Board. So while you might not be able to seal it, you might get a certificate of eligibility, which would waive the barriers for certain employment. There's healthcare worker waivers for people that want to work in the healthcare field, and they can get a waiver that would allow employers to hire them, even if their cases were not sealable. The Prisoner Review Board will also be at the Expungement Summit talking about clemency, on how to petition the governor to get a pardon for certain offenses. And while it is a lengthy process, it is not a process that does not go unaffected, because people get pardons all the time for things that they would think that might not be eligible. And if you can receive that pardon, you can then expunge that offense, not just seal it, you can expunge it
as well.
So even though it might be a lengthy and in-depth process, it will, if it is granted, and when it is granted, you can expunge that. And that is a huge thing for people. I mean, employment, housing, daycares, anything you want to do, it just opens the doors wide open.
A certain licensing. I know you said something about childcare,
Childcare,
those
yes.
kinds of things. So it really makes a big difference. Even if you don't believe that your offense is expungible or sealable, come to the Expungement Summit and sit down with an attorney so that they can let you know what alternative forms of relief are available. And Liz talked a little bit about some of those alternative forms of relief. We want to try to reach as many people as possible, even including clemency, because the laws have changed in Illinois to make most offenses expungible or sealable, or most offenses sealable. The expungement laws are still pretty much the same.
Yes.
Those non-convictions are still expungible, but the opportunity to seal felony convictions is something that's new in Illinois from 2017.
Correct.
Is that right? And so we're asking as many people as possible, come to the Expungement Summit. What if a person is not able to come to the Expungement Summit? What other ways can they have their records expunged or sealed, or have someone to help them fill out the forms for expungements and sealings?
Yeah, that's a great question. And in our offices in the Daly Center, which is 50 West Washington, in room 1006, which is the criminal department, we actually have an attorney help desk in that office Monday through Thursday. So Monday through Thursday, we have attorneys there that can help you on a day-to-day basis. There is a restriction on how many people that they can service in one day, because obviously our hours are limited. So if you cannot make it to the summit, you can come to the Daly Center Monday through Thursday with your Chicago Police Department rap sheet or your Illinois State Police criminal history. The Markham Courthouse also has a help desk on Wednesdays. Skokie also has another help desk. And juvenile, we didn't speak about juvenile offenses yet, so we need to touch on that a little bit too. The juvenile location at 1100 South Hamilton, they have a help desk there also. So, and at the summit on June 1st, not only will we be servicing adult offenses, but if you have a juvenile offense, we will have juvenile personnel there to help you file for your juvenile offenses also.
So it sounds like we have really a broad range of services that will be taking place at the Expungement Summit on June 1st. If you're not able to make it to the Expungement Summit based upon what Liz is saying, you can come into the clerk's office downtown and room 1006 in the Daly Center. Also, there's a location in Markham. There's also a location at the Skokie Courthouse, and also there's a location at that juvenile courthouse on, is it Hamilton?
Hamilton.
On Hamilton. So also, if you do have juvenile records that need to be expunged, you can have those expunged at the Expungement Summit, or come to one of those locations that Liz has mentioned, so that you can have, they have an attorney help desk there, these locations that she's mentioned, where you can sit down with an attorney with your rap sheet. Please bring your rap sheet so that they can take a look at your rap sheet and let you know what sorts of remedies, whether it's expungement, sealing, or alternative forms of relief that you would be eligible for and that you would qualify for. I know that you get a lot of questions and about your criminal department, but you get a lot of questions also about juvenile expungements. With regard to the juvenile expungements, how are those handled in the criminal department? Do you send everybody down to Hamilton, or how should people approach those if they have a combination of adult offenses and juvenile offenses?
That's a very good question, and something else that we need to touch upon also, Gloria, is the juvenile petitions would be filed at the juvenile courthouse at 1100 South Hamilton. The criminal adult in Chicago, we can only take those criminal adult petitions. And that's the other thing. If you're not able to come to the summit on June 1st, but you still want assistance in filing your expungement and sealings, the help desk at the Daily Center in room 1006 can prepare petitions for the whole of Cook County, whether it be Skokie, Rolling Meadows, Maywood, Markham, or Bridgeview. You would just not be able to actually file those petitions at the Chicago location, but the petitions, you would still see an attorney, they would prepare all the paperwork, they would go through the process, explain to you what would happen, then you would go to those outlying courthouses to actually file.
Okay, so they could help you with actually preparing the petitions. However, in Cook County, in each district, the presiding judge of each district requires that the expungement or sealing petition is filed in that district where the offense occurred.
That's correct.
Right, so if it occurred in Skokie, then
you would go to Skokie
you
to
have
file.
to file in
But
Skokie.
that's one of the benefits of the summit, because you could hypothetically file in Skokie, Markham, Bridgeview, and Chicago all on the same day without leaving that location.
Okay, so that's wonderful. You don't have to run around the city.
You do not.
You can
You just have to
file
run around the school a couple times.
in one place.
In one place.
In one place. So the Expungement Summit is really full service.
It
I know
is.
you've said that before. We are literally taking the clerk's office and placing it into Westinghouse High School for that day.
Yep.
You have Liz will be there.
Yep.
I will be there, and you will have many attorneys there. You'll have staff to direct you in where you need to go. The clerk will be there. There'll be a lot of information that you mentioned regarding job opportunities, housing, health opportunities as well. So it's really full service there. And let me ask one other question. I understand that there's a fee to file expungements.
There is.
And if there is someone who is unable to afford the fee to file an expungement or sealing petition, what remedies do they have available? Should they stay home? Should they come out to the summit anyway? Could you talk a little bit about that?
They should absolutely not stay home. If they are pre-registered and they have uploaded all of their appropriate documents and they are unemployed, that's why we do expungements, is to break those barriers so people can get employed. We will have judges at the Expungement Summit on June 1st hearing those fee waiver petitions. So if you are indeed unemployed and unable to pay, you can sit down with the judge and he could hypothetically and truistically waive your filing fees so that you would be able to file that day.
Okay, so come out to the Expungement Summit. It sounds like, again, you know, you have attorneys, you have judges who are volunteering, and you have a lot of information that will be given out at the Expungement Summit, and also many opportunities to file those expungement petitions and, as Liz said, break those barriers to unemployment and to housing and to advancement in your life. So we do have a few more minutes. I want to go back to where the Expungement Summit registration days will be taking place, and also where the Expungement Summit will be taking place. Just wanted to reiterate these Expungement Summit registration days, which are May 19th and also May 26th. That's the next upcoming date. We've had one of those registration days, and they're taking place in many places around the clerks, around around Cook County. And so we're asking for people to come out, get the help that you need to pre-register. There will be people on site who will be able to assist in pre-registering for the Expungement Summit. So also we wanted to make sure that we noted the contact information for the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court. We are headquartered at the Daily Center at 50 West Washington and other locations around Cook County. Our telephone number is 312-603-5031, and our website is www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. Well, we are almost out of time.
It was very quick today.
I want to thank you, Ms. Elizabeth Nevin, for providing interesting information regarding the 2019 Second Chance Expungement Summit and also alternative reliefs to expungements and sealings. And for more information about the Expungement Summit, please visit our website again at www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org, or like our Facebook page, Cook County Clerk of Court, and Cook County Expungement Summit. You may also call for more information about the Expungement Summit at 312-603-5200 or 312-603-4641. We want to thank you, viewers. Thank you for joining us and tuning in to Clerk of the Court Live next Thursday at 5 p.m. when we have Ms. Kelly Smeltzer will host, and we will have the guest as Ms. Dawn Porter, and we will discuss any final things regarding our June 1st Expungement Summit next Thursday at 5 p.m. Won't you join us then? Have a great evening.
Thank you.